Hello friends, today's date is 1 August 2022 and our today's topic is recursion in Java. So we can see what is, first of all we see what is the recursion. Recursion is the process in which the function call itself directly or indirectly is called as the recursion, and the corresponding function is called as the recursive function. Using recursive algorithm, certain problems can be solved quite easily. For example, such problems are the towers of Hanoi, in order, pre-order, post-order, tree traversal, DFS in graphs. uh, Now we can see what is the best condition for the recursion. In the recursive program, the solution of the base class is provided, and the solution of the bigger problem is expressed in terms of the smaller program. For example, we can see the example of the factorial using recursion. So if we have the method that is in fact, in we can pass the number, and we can check if n is less than equal to 1, then if base condition is true, then it will return yeah, then it base condition and return, and else return the n into factorial of n minus 1. In the above example, base case for n is less than equal to 1 is defined a larger value of the number and can be solved by converted it into the smaller one of the base case is reach. Now we can see how a particular problem is solved using the recursion. And the idea is represent problem in terms of one or more smaller problem. The factorial would be n is equal to 0. So we return 1 when n is equal to 0. Then we can see why stack overflow error was occur in the recursion. If the base condition is not reached or defined, then the stack overflow problem will arise. So we can see the example of it. The same example, that is the factorial, that is in fact, and it will use the n as a number, and if n is equal to 100, then return once, else return the n into factorial of n minus 1. If fact of 0 is called, then it will call the fact 9, fact 8, fact 7, and so on, but the numbers will never reach at the 100. So the base condition is not reached. If the memory is exhausted by the other functions on the stack, then it will come to the stack overflow error. So there are the two types of the recursion, that is the direct recursion or indirect recursion. So we can see the basic difference about them. A function is called direct recursive if it calls the uh, same function. A function is called indirect if it calls the another function, and it will calls a new method directly or indirectly. So this is the basic difference between the direct and indirect method. We can see the example of the direct recursion, that is the void direct function, and it will calls its own method, that is the direct recursion function. An indirect function example was the void recursion function 1, then it will call the indirect recursion function 2, and again in recursion 2 function it will calls the direct recursion function. So this is all about the recursion in Java. Thank you.